Hey, welcome to my first storage tech video. Today we're going to be working with allays to sort unstackable items. The reason I've picked allays is because, first of all, they're really cute and they're new and I like them so much. And another reason is, you'll see in a minute, it makes the whole system a little bit simpler than well, not a little bit, a lot simpler than a normal unstackable sorter. So here's the system. It looks complicated at first, but once I explain it to you, it'll seem a lot simpler, I hope. It's fully hopper locked, which if you don't know what that means, it means every hopper in here is locked, which helps us lag a lot. When the allays pick up an item, so for an example, I'm pretty sure, yeah, that one's sorting water buckets. So as you can see here, it'll load up the shulker box's water buckets, and then when that gets full, it'll get put into this barrel down here. It's got overflow protection too, so you won't lose any items. If you're wondering what the path block here is, it's the only transparent full block that comparators can read out of in Bedrock Edition. That's a mouthful to say, and all I must say is path block is good. Path block is very, very good. You could also use chains, but you can't put repeaters on top of chains, or any sort of redstone component for that matter. You can't use a full block, because when the shulker box gets broken, it would just make a clock, which you don't really want, because that would break the whole system. The hopper minecart here is distributing the shulker boxes. You could replace this with a ice stream if you wanted to save on another entity. In my opinion, this is just simpler, and it makes it a little bit smaller too, because you don't need to have the block at the back to hold the water in. I don't know if I mentioned this, but it runs on a 3-second clock, because allays in Bedrock Edition have a 3-second cooldown for picking up items. That's just so that they're not too overpowered. On Java, I'm pretty sure it's a 5-second cooldown, so yeah, on Bedrock it's a little bit faster. If I put this if I put this box here for you for a minute, you'll see a random assortment of items that we're going to sort. The bows are the only item that we do not have sorted. So as you can see, just so I can verify, there are no bows in the allay's hands. So we should end up with 4 bows at this block here when the system is finished. So I'll turn it on by unlocking it all. The hopper locking can also serve as a pause system. So if you wanted to stop the system for whatever reason, like maybe you need to leave the area, or you need to log off for the day or whatever, I don't know, there could be many reasons, you can just turn the hopper locking back on, and as you'll see, that stops the whole system. I'll just wait here for a minute so you can see. Yep, stop the whole system. It's really quick at stopping because it locks every hopper within like 2 ticks, I'm pretty sure. And then, as you'll see, it just starts right back up again. You are perfectly fine to unload it and relog and do anything to this. It's infinitely expandable, and the only thing I would be cautious of is if you do expand it, be careful of your simulation distance. It's fine to unload it, that's perfectly fine. So you could have it longer and have a minecart going up and down. I wouldn't recommend it personally. First of all, I'm pretty sure there's not that many unstackable items in the game. But another reason I wouldn't recommend it is if, for an example, the edge of your simulation distance was this module here. When the items cross over into unsimulated chunks, they just group there. So when you loaded it again, there would just be like 80 items there, just sitting there, depending on how big you're sorting your items. It finished, I'm pretty sure, because I just heard a bunch of droppers. Anyway, back on track. I wouldn't put it over simulation distances because, like I said, when you reload the chunks, you'd have like 80-ish items or however many you've put into the system, really, just sit in there. And because of the allay 3-second cooldown, you would have a bunch of items that would get missed and thrown into your overflow. For the overflow, by the way, I haven't added it here because it's very optional what you do. You could put it into lava if it was a raid farm, for an example. You could also add another one of these modules just without the allay and redirect the water into where that allay is. So just get rid of the slab and make the water go on top of the hopper, so that the overflow gets put into shulker boxes for you. That's personally what I would do. It's completely up to you. It's pretty small. I wouldn't say very small. It could maybe be smaller. I don't know. It's 2 wide, 6 long, I'm pretty sure, yeah, 6 long and 8 tall. It might be 9, again, I can't remember. This here is one module. I just wouldn't put this over a chunk border, again, for the same reason. Items might get stuck here or whatever. The hopper minecart might get stuck here, which is another reason why you might want to use a water stream. Also, with this being a box loader, putting them on chunk borders isn't a great idea. I've tested it, it works fine. I just to be sure I wouldn't. So, before those despawn, just so I can show you, there are 4 bows here from the shulker box. No items get left over, as you will see in a minute. There you go, no items get left over. And it's one of my best allay sorters I've made. I have made a few. This is just my favourite one I've made. It's also the most recent one. That's pretty much all I have to say. I will be making a tutorial on this in a few days. Because I can't make one right now because I want to sort out some of the hopper locking in here. In this little bit here, it's a bit of a mess at the minute, and it could be a lot better. I'll break that shulker box, we don't need that anymore. The fence gate here, if anyone's wondering why this is here, again, it would work perfectly fine if that fence gate was not there. In fact, to demonstrate that, I'm going to put a shulker box here. I'm going to open the fence gate so it's not there anymore. As you can see, it works perfectly fine. All the items get picked up. But there is a very small chance that when you unload it, and the item is in a really specific area in the water stream, that it doesn't get picked up. Now, again, this is extremely rare, and you would only be missing out on one item. But for an example, in this sorter, I have things like tridents and elytras and stuff, so yeah, it may be rare, but if you miss out on an elytra or a trident or something like that, or anything valuable for that matter, I just don't recommend it because, like I said, it works. As you can see, it's working perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's sorting all the items as it should. It's just another thing that helps with reliability. That's pretty much all I have to say, I think. Yeah. Oh, another thing is the hopper minecart here gets activated every 3 seconds, which in the tutorial I'm going to change to be every time it finishes. And that is because getting activated every 3 seconds, it takes about 3 seconds sometimes to get from one end to the other. So as soon as it gets to the end, it just gets shot off again, and it wouldn't pick up all the 5 shulker boxes it needs to. As you can see, worked perfectly fine. We've got another 4 bows here. It just helps with reliability. You could not have it there. It's completely up to you. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say, I think. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the tutorial for this.